10 years and $500 million later, Star Citizen is finally admitting that more features don't equal a better game. But what's really surprising is how this could revolutionize how massive games are developed.
That's quite a shift for a game that's basically defined itself by endless feature creep. What sparked this change?
Well, Chris Roberts just released this fascinating December letter where he essentially admitted their more is more approach was failing players. They're completely restructuring their development for 2025 with 10 strategic updates focused on stability rather than new content.
So they're actually going to fix those infamous bugs instead of adding more ships, the ones that keep launching players into space.
Exactly that. And here's what makes this particularly interesting. They're moving entire engineering teams away from feature development to tackle these core issues. Their CTO, Benoit Beausejour, laid out this comprehensive plan that includes regular maintenance windows and completely revamped server infrastructure.
But what about all those players who've invested thousands of dollars in promised features? Some backers have put in more than $10,000 each.
That's where it gets fascinating. They're implementing this new approach to narrative content where players can actually shape the universe through their actions. Instead of just adding more ships, they're focusing on making the existing universe more dynamic and responsive.
Well, that's certainly a different approach from their usual, here's another $700 spaceship strategy.
And get this, they're completely overhauling their testing pipeline. According to their latest development report, they're seeing an 80% reduction in critical bugs just from the initial changes to their testing procedures.
Though I have to wonder, what happens to all those ambitious features they promised over the years? And the game raised over $500 million on those promises.
They're taking what they're calling a slow cooking approach now. Instead of trying to serve everything at once, they're making sure each feature is properly tested and integrated. The latest metrics show their server stability is improved by 45% just from this new methodology.
That's quite a dramatic shift for a project that's been criticised for its kitchen sink approach to development.
And here's what really stands out. The community response has been surprisingly positive. According to their forums, about 70% of veteran players are actually celebrating this change, while newer players are more skeptical.
I suppose after 10 years of development, stability starts to look more attractive than new features that might break everything.
Precisely. And they're backing this up with unprecedented transparency, monthly updates, detailed patch notes, and regular communication about their progress. Their latest development roadmap shows they're allocating 60% of their resources to stability improvements.
You mentioned earlier about how this could change game development. How so?
Well, think about it. Most major studios follow this release now, fix later approach. But Star Citizen is essentially creating a new playbook for developing massive games. They're showing that sometimes you need to step back and strengthen your foundation before building higher.
That's actually quite profound, like realising you can't keep adding floors to a skyscraper if the foundation is shaky.
Exactly. And the numbers back this up. Their internal testing shows that fixing core systems first could reduce development time for new features by up to 40%. It's like they're finally learning that quality matters more than quantity.
Though I have to admit, I might miss those viral videos of ships spontaneously exploding in hangars.
Well, according to their bug tracking system, those particular glitches have caused over 100,000 player deaths, though I agree they've provided some of the most entertaining moments in gaming history.
So what would you say is the most crucial change they're implementing?
Without a doubt, it's their new approach to server architecture. Their latest technical briefing showed that their new server meshing technology could support up to 50,000 concurrent players in a single instance. That's 10 times their current capacity.
That's quite impressive for a game that used to crash if more than 50 players gathered in one place.
And here's the kicker. They're estimating these changes could reduce their development timeline by 2 years. It's either going to be the year Star Citizen finally delivers on its promises, or, well, let's just say there's a lot riding on these changes.
Well, here's hoping they can pull it off without any more deadly elevator incidents.
Though you have to admit, those elevator clips have generated over 10 million views on YouTube. But seriously, this could be the most important year in Star Citizen's development, even if it's not the most exciting one.
Sometimes the most important changes are the least flashy ones, aren't they?
Exactly that. And on that note, I think it's time for us to make our own safe landing and wrap up for today.
Just remember, everyone, always check those elevators in Star Citizen and in real life.
Before we blast off, I want to give a quick shout out to our amazing friends over at HCS Voice Packs. If you're looking to make your Star Citizen experience even more immersive, check out the link in the description below for some incredible voice packs that will make you feel like you're commanding your own starship with legendary voices. And hey, if you enjoyed this journey through the stars with me, do me a favour, hit that like button, subscribe to the AnnouncerAI for more content, and let's keep this adventure going. Thanks for watching, and as always, see you in the verse.